So you went to Penang and you spoke to these guys who make medical devices, right?
Yeah.
But what was the feeling like on ground now, especially? Yes, it's a hub, like you mentioned, but what makes Penang so attractive?
I think we have got backtracked a little. So me together, I went together with a few other colleagues. Our intention was to look at both the E&E industry as well as the medical devices industry. So I happened to be the one who interviewed the medical devices segment. So I think one thing to note about the medical devices in Penang is that it tends to be more devices, or they call it a medtech, which is called the medical technology companies, meaning that they have higher in value. They are higher in value compared to, say, Central Malaysia, where we are known for our glove manufacturers. So that's the kind of hub or industry that you get in Penang itself. And when you ask me what is it like on the ground, right? I feel that they're very happy people over there. I mean, in the face of a pandemic, like here we hear about job losses, companies closing down and stuff. But over there in Penang, they're actually hiring people. There's no hiring freeze, and they actually need more people to sort of be involved in the industry to manufacture what they are doing. Yeah.
So Penang it has always been known for E&E, right? But how big is the medical device presence there?
Okay, so a little bit of history is the E&E sector in Penang has actually been around for about 50 years. Okay, so when it first started, they called it the 8 samurais. I mean, there were 8 like MNCs who actually came into Malaysia around that time to start up the industry. And then at that same time, there was only one medical devices company that quietly came to Malaysia, which was Bibron, the German brand. And then later on, I think somewhere in 2005, so about 15 years now, the Penang State Authorities, the investment body there, which is Invest Penang, they realized that they need to diversify, not just to rely on the E&E sector, but to also include to also look at other sectors or sectors that can actually help to diversify the investments there, like in terms of revenue and exports and all that. So they found out that medical devices is actually quite a good fit for Penang, and they actually call it a spin-off from the E&E sector. Because a lot of things that you would see in the E&E sector, I mean, sort of groom from the E&E sector, like your precision engineering, which is all the metalworks and stuff, other metalworks and stuff, electronic devices, has a bit of linkage to the medical devices that are currently happening in Penang as well. So that was how it sort of spun off from the E&E sector. So it's been around 15 years. As to how big the entire market is, I mean, I think there's no number to sort of define how big that industry is. But like Malaysia as a whole, we are the biggest market in Southeast Asia in terms of medical devices. So I think it's more of a consumption medical devices. So it's about, I think the number was about 1.5 billion medical devices market for Malaysia itself.
What kind of devices are these guys making?
Okay, so very interestingly, when I was in Penang, you would never know how advanced the companies there are. So we have people or industries who are actually like really high end. So one of them is it's a foreign company. It's Boston Scientific. It's a very big multinational around the world. Yes, correct. And in Penang, they are actually doing your heart valves. So heart valves are very high in value. They actually need people to slowly to sew. It needs to be hand stitched onto the thing. And also we have another company I visited, which was very interesting, is the orthopedic company. So they produce or they manufacture orthopedic tools and also the implants. And when you fracture your bone in an accident or you break it, then you need like some support, right, for your bones to grow back. So they are the guys that are doing it here.
Now anything medical gets interest, right? But the thing is, pandemic, no pandemic, there is still demand for medical equipment. So what is the outlook like for this industry?
So the players that we talk to, as well as to the Penang Investment Board and their association, medical association there, they think the outlook for Penang is actually very bright in terms of medical devices, because we have to understand when it comes to medical devices, that industry, they tend to sort of cluster, that's what they call it.
Okay.
So there needs to be an ecosystem. You can't really be just one company there producing what you need to. You need a supporting system. So when you have more and more companies coming, it's like a chain reaction, you call, or a chicken and egg thing, where the more and more companies that you have, then the faster you will build and grow the hub.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Age Weekly at all good newsstands.